Hello again, welcome back for another daily Binding of Isaac repeating. December 22nd, 2023. I had to double check to make sure the volume's working. I think I know what the culprit is what's causing it to not get into the right slot for recording audio, in-game audio. I have to have the speakers on before I open OBS, otherwise I have to go in the settings and turn it on. I don't know, something weird with that. Okay, let's see here. Let's do it daily. I have like something special today, the 22nd. I think. Maybe. Maybe tomorrow there might be one. I do like a mix of daily and whatnot, I guess. Daily and second file. Because it's been a few days since I've been recording Isaac. I've been fairly busy, for sure. Especially today. So today, the other day I got some chestnuts, right? Had in the fridge for a few days. Gonna wait for the right time to start scoring and soaking them. And like usual, I've done it. This is like my third time I'm doing this, right? And so, just before soaking them, I tend to score them and then soak them. And so, yeah. As I was scoring them, the knife slipped and I cut my, not my hand, but my finger open. My index finger, particularly. And yeah. And so I bandaged it up. It was pretty deep. I'll admit, I didn't feel any pain with it, but it was deep. And so, anyways, I wrapped it up. I was gonna proceed to. It's like thinking to myself, oh, should I go to like a quick care or something? Should I not? And so, as I was like working on the next nut, I accidentally slipped and I cut a little part of my finger. Not as deep as the other one, not even close, but yeah, it was just more shit going down. And so, anyways, yeah, so that happened. And I decided, you know, I'm going to get this checked out just in case. So I went to the quick care today. And I didn't feel any pain, much pain or anything, but the pill. Potentially a good pill here. So by the time I went in, I had a little bit of pain, a tinge of pain and stuff like that. And they're asking me, okay, what am I in there for? I was talking to the receptionist. It's like, oh yeah, I'm in because I accidentally had my knife slip when I was preparing chestnuts, scoring chestnuts. Stuff. And the receptionist thought maybe I might need skin glue or something, but yeah. You know what? Let's get this. And then he was asking me what the process is to make chestnuts. And I explained it to him. I explained it to the two other people today, too. The process. Actually, no. I explained like 5 people today about the process. Not too many people do it, I guess. So I explained each one. With that whole shebang. Let go and move on. Let go and move on. Let it go. Let it go. Whatever. That's, you know. I might take the book instead here. So anyways, tell him about the situation and also tell him how to make chestnuts. And too. And so I had a nurse look at me. I didn't look at it, but the nurse was going to be there to assist some other nurse. I guess there were 2 nurses. I was confused because I thought it was a doctor and a nurse thing. I don't know. Well, anyways, talk about the situation and all this other stuff. And then doctor came in / nurse or whatever. and it brought somebody else there. So the other person was there to measure how deep the wound was, I guess. And I guess the purpose is to decide, like, if I need to go to urgent care because of how deep the wound would be. If it's too deep, they can't do it there. So fortunately for me, holy shit, that's huge. So fortunately for me, it wasn't too deep. I cut it alongside the joint or something like that, he said. And they can't use skin glue because how deep the wound is too. I'm like, okay. So they have to put a needle in my finger. And of course it did hurt. Full health. Okay, I don't want to use that burp for that, for sure. So, yeah, I had to have a couple of needle pricks to numb it. Then I had to wait about 10 minutes to essentially stitch it up. So I had 3 stitches to my finger. I did feel some pain, but not a crazy amount of pain. They also sanitize it and stuff like that. And surprisingly, they said that I can have it unwrapped next week. So a week from today, week to 10 days, they said. Because if I can't do it in a week, then I probably need to be doing it 3 days after that. So, and surprisingly, they said I can lift and do whatever with it as long as I keep it clean. And if I'm in a dirty environment, I should be also covering it up. Minimum cleaning with soap and water too, they said. So, right now it's covered under a bandage. I imagine I'm going to keep it covered every day just to be on the safe side because I had an infection and I had to take antibiotics after I fell back in September, and I fell on my hand, like on some cement, so I think it was probably difficult to clean it or something at that point. And I waited a couple days before I seen somebody. Well, fortunately, it wasn't like a deep... Well, it was kind of a deep wound, but nothing like what I did with my finger here. The funny thing with my finger is, like, when the knife slipped, I didn't feel like much pain when it happened. But I had a deep wound. It wasn't bleeding much either. So she gave me some stuff to control the bleeding temporarily or whatever. And some other weird stuff, naming stuff. Forget what it's called. Gave me that. And yeah, it was an experience. I'm like, shit, you know, I like had all this other stuff I had to do today too. And so, like, this was another thing that had to go on. And so I only got like 3 nuts in, like, at the time. But fortunately, I did come home and I was able to finish the rest of them. And I was actually becoming much more careful with it, with the process. This is gonna be a... Nope, never mind. It's gotta be pretty flied in order to get a new familiar. That's right. So anyways, finished the rest of them. I actually wore my thick winter gloves too, just to add another level of caution to it. So yeah. So they're soaking right now. All of them are scored. All of them are ready to go. That's pretty good here. Yeah, it's the first time I had, like... I mean, I've cut myself, like, I had minor cuts with doing the chestnut stuff. But, like, nothing like this. Fortunately, I don't have to do this until next Christmas. How about that? I'm not gonna do it year-round. If I want to, but no. Christmas. Once a year of playing with a sharp knife. Super sharp. At least, you know, that was a cheap knife. Even though it was a cheap knife off of Amazon, It did its job, literally. Like, cut me open. Not for the intended, like... That wasn't my intended, like... thing to do. My intentions. It's not to cut myself open. So yeah, I gotta be careful with that paring knife. And they kind of add to it too with what happened. So what happened was, yeah, it slipped, but like part of the slippage, of course, was when I was trying to score one of them. So usually chestnuts, they have a kind of a flat back to it or something, or a flat front. Well, usually a fat back and a flat front. So it's easier to like, and it's like flat on there. So it's like, it's easier to score. Easier to score, right? Well, I had one or two particular nets. The first one in question, that caused me to get that injury. It slipped because it didn't have like much of a flat surface. It was difficult as hell to be scoring that damn chestnut. Well, anyways, that's what happened. It essentially it slipped and it was the perfect storm, and I sliced my finger open. So that was cool. I was pretty metal. Some battle scars. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty metal. You talk about those things anymore? Battle scars? All the cool kids don't talk about that? Okay. No more battle scars? Oh, what's the term now for this stuff? I'm out of the loop. But yeah, it was... I didn't really freak out or anything. Like, I was like thinking to myself, oh, I cut my finger pretty deep. So I kind of quickly got ready to go and went to quick care and whatever. Like, now, if I was bleeding profusely, then I'd be rushing it. Like, there'd probably be a little bit more freak out with that. Receptionist thought, yeah, I was talking to the receptionist about the injury. He's like, oh, at first I thought that was blood because I had the bandage set up in such a way. So the wrapping is red. It's like a bright red. So I guess in the distance you think it's blood or something. He thought it was blood. It's like, no. I don't know. I just chose the color because whatever. It's default. I wasn't getting too picky with the colors, with the exception of pink. So this is like a bright red. Why am I doing this for? Whatever the fuck. You're gonna just buy stuff and then ruin your score for the night, huh? Yeah, even though well, yeah, I guess there's that. Plus, like, it's late in the night, so it's like people already got the score before me with the top ranks, so don't matter worth the damn, I guess. I've been picking up items like it's nothing. This is like a insult. Did I? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, where the fuck did the bomb go? I thought I picked it up. Oops. So yeah, that was my day. One time I cut my finger open, but not as deep as what I did here, and it was a weird angle right next to the nail. And I was using this, oh, what? Why is there a fucking spider? Weird. I was using... it's a thing that lines up paper. You can line up things with paper to do, like, precise, you know, accurate cuts and all that stuff. So I had to, like, use that thing to cut out paper to put on pasteboard for this stupid project years ago. Because, you know, the teacher wanted to... Well, the teacher for sure wanted to create something like she did in the 90s in high school. And I'm like, thinking to myself, this is the fucking 2000 and, you know, whatever, teens, late teens, you know? Like, why the fuck do we need to be doing this if we're doing... Because, like, we're doing digital projects, right? And so she wants us to create something like she did in high school. And then she decided, like, later on after the project to, like, not do that anymore, which is just stupid. She doxed me for points after I cut my finger open. I accidentally got blood on the pasteboard with the papers, and I couldn't get the stuff off. I was so pissed. The pasteboard was expensive, too. It was like 50 bucks at a Hobby Lobby. Like, holy shit. For pasteboard. Because it wants specifically pasteboard. I mean, I've made my fair share of, like what? Like, oh, look at that. Like, I've made my fair share growing up, like, poster board, like, projects and stuff like that in school. I've done that kind of thing. But, like, this is the digital fucking, like, era. And if we're doing, like, we're doing specifically, like, digital projects, right? Like graphic design stuff or whatever. We should not be like, oh, let's break out the pasteboard because I have nostalgia. No. No. We did it once. Once. Other projects we had in that class and other classes, future classes, like, no. Or future projects, I mean, no, we didn't fuck around anymore with pasteboard. Yeah, I cut my finger open that time, and it did hurt, and it was fairly deep, but not super deep. This is an insult here, by the way. Look at this shit. So yeah, that was another experience I had with that years ago. Like why? Like, why subject us to your old ways, ma'am? Have I not been a good boy to you? Have we not been your good students? Why you punish us with this shit? Another thing, you know, same thing too with the teacher. She also doesn't believe in perfectionism. So therefore, like, this is for real. So she doesn't believe in perfectionism, right? So she doesn't give anybody A's. She even admitted that. She doesn't give anybody A's because she doesn't believe in perfectionism. Yet she had like this super like OCD kind of mentality. If things had to be perfectly lined up, perfectly clean, just all this other stuff. It was, I mean, the hypocrisy was just uncanny. And yeah, so nobody gets A's. Nobody gets A's in her class. That's fucking stupid. You know, you got students who work on getting A's, you know, straight A's or something like that to get like, you know, honors program or something. You got this one teacher who just like, hey, I don't accept A's because there's no such thing as perfectionism. You got the one killjoy. It's like, hey, by the way, you're trying to get A's in here. Guess what? You're fucked. And I have a higher sense of self-worth of taking you all down your grades. Insane. Another thing too, like one winter we had a class and there's supposed to be a big Arctic freeze coming in, right? So the class was obviously going to be suspected it's going to be closed at the end of the day, right? In the evening. And so now in the morning it's already cold, right? Like -15 or something like that. And so checking my emails closely and stuff, and found that, oh yeah, this class is canceled, this class is canceled, you know, because they wanted to be, they're concerned of our safety. So my classes, they were much earlier than the cutoff time of when things are going to get canceled from the college. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to cancel because we believe in your safety and all this other kind of stuff, right? So all my classes were like that for that day. all my classes except hers. Except her class when it was -15 with a wind chill with like it being freezing outside with and windy and shit like that. And I have to walk like I don't know, about half a mile and stuff. Like at that time I didn't have like all the proper winter gear and shit like that. And so like I wasn't going to subject myself to go all the way the fuck out there. And so anyways, I decided to stay home and all this other stuff and, you know, miss that one class day. And then because I missed the one class day that, like, of course, part of the rules in the class is, like, if you miss the class day, you're supposed to get your notes that was taken from other students and not from the teacher. The problem is it's, like, it's graphic design class. So, like, if you're using programs you never used before and they demonstrate stuff that's in the class and you're making notes in order to understand the process using this setting and that, you're kind of fucked. And that's what happened. And not only that, she was not only that, so fast forward like a couple months or so later, she was like, oh, by the way, if that snow day and all that, there's not excuse absence. If you missed like, I don't know how many days, a couple other days or something like that, she won't count it as excuse absence or something like that. It's just fucking stupid. I wasn't going out there to be freezing, but you know, it turned out, by the way, throwing this out there too. So the college was closed actually for like, I think a week or something like that because the cold and storm, it was really bad. Somebody actually died. A student died actually with during that storm thing. Was cut outside in the middle of it, just trying to get into their building, the dorm, and they froze to death. So yeah, this was not some little storm. It's like -50 or 60 fucking degree wind chill. It was nothing to fuck around. It was so cold. I went to my pizza place that I used to go to from time to time, and the inside of the doors were fucking frozen for the most part. Like, it's like a little bit of a reminiscence of like the scene from Day After Tomorrow when they're running the library and how this fucking ice shit coming out of nowhere and creeping up to them. Only not that extreme with this case, but you know what I mean? Like, you see the frost on the outside of the door, like, right at the door. And you can feel the chill in the air and shit. And it sucks. When you go outside and breathe it in, it sucks the air out of you, too. Now, I was only out briefly, and, like, I was close by to my pizza place, so it was not like, oh, you put yourself at risk for pizza by not going to class. Class was much further away than this pizza place. So, that's how that is. But no, it just defeated the purpose of, you know, this whole thing where she was like, oh no, we can't cancel classes because this is gonna ruin my schedule. But turns out it was like, our classes were actually canceled. Actually canceled to where we can't even have it in person. Because of the extreme conditions. You know, I kind of wonder, what the hell did she do exactly when COVID rolled around? I'm not even kidding. Because, like, the vast majority of classes at that time were online. Like 70-ish%. And with this type of class, like, using computers and all that, you have to be in the class and all this other stuff. And there's not enough computers to do every other computer if you're trying to do social distancing. So there's, like, none of that. I don't know what she did, but you know what? Karma's a bitch, I suppose. Couldn't give people like a alternative way to access the content. That's another thing too. It's like there wasn't like, so instead of like recording videos for doing demonstration stuff during that whole entire like winter break. We were just like doing like brief looking at stuff that she kind of gave us to look at, but it was like next to nothing for shit. It was like, so like she didn't obviously didn't have anything prepared. But expect us to be in class the day of a big freeze when it's like negative 15 with wind chill. Whoops. Crazy. I don't think I've ever had a teacher like that. All my years of education, like, holy shit. Imagine COVID might have really, like, fucked with her with, like, how things are structured. Because there's quite a few students that are in these graphic design classes of hers. And so... I don't know, like... See, that's the thing, because you're supposed to be working on the projects outside of class. It's the big deal with graphic design. I mean, you work on it in class in some days. Other days, you know, it's more of like demonstration stuff. But you have to be working on projects for that class outside of class kind of stuff. I mean, they do have multiple computer labs, I suppose, not just that one. You could be working on it outside of class, so it's possible that it could have been done, but I don't know how the demonstration stuff would have worked in person, if it even did. From what I was told, they had like lockdowns with all these buildings for the most part, extremely restrictive. So students couldn't really get in there anymore and stuff. It was mostly the faculty. And students could only get there under very strict circumstances too, during the COVID lockdowns. So there was that. So I don't know how that worked with labs. Well, okay, so they had certain, like for example, they had like a ceramic class that I was talking to somebody a few years ago. And they're talking about, so ceramic class, instead of doing it in person, they have to buy this kit, right? In order to do ceramic class, which was like much less quality for clay, much less quality for like resources, all this other stuff. You're supposed to be using high-end stuff for this college, right? But in this case, like it was very shit materials. And then also you're very limited of glazing too, because then you have to schedule to glaze something, and then you have to take a picture and then send it as like an email photo, like a photo through an email or something to the teacher to show, hey, by the way, this is my art project or whatever. And they grade you based on the picture. It was pretty, it sounded pretty fucked from what I heard. And I don't know how the other art classes went, but like, especially the graphic design I was in. Before COVID, just kind of throw that out there, before COVID, before any of that came around or spread around to some other countries first, way before that. So, yeah, I don't know. I imagine they were in the very similar boat. But the problem is with graphic design is, like, unlike ceramic class where it's like, oh yeah, we can use these bullshit materials. Like, we're talking about using Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign, all these other ones, right? Like these high-end software. So unless you have like a good build already, a good computer, like, you can't really essentially just do it at home and have no computer lab to access. And there's so many students have to access those computers for a whole variety of reasons, right? Not just graphic design, but like, you know, probably some in the animation department. You have like, probably AutoCAD, You know, like it's all over the place. It's a clusterfuck. And then you got also people who need it for typing papers. They don't even have computers. So what the fuck do you do? I don't know. I don't even know what they did. It had to be a clusterfuck. I'm glad I got out of there before that clusterfuck ever happened. And get this, they were charging the same rate for tuition as if the COVID shit wasn't going on. Because part of the cost of tuition is having access to the building and certain functions, right? So you're paying for that with the lack of function. That's what was going on with this tuition stuff. They put a freeze because, oh, the freeze is going to be so helpful in these trying times for these students, and then we're going to raise it once everything gets lifted, which is exactly what they did. And they charge the same rates as if COVID didn't happen. But then you're using a lot less, like, material. It's just, it was just greed, you know? It was just greed with it. But yeah. Another stars card, huh? Ow! I don't think I'm gonna make it the room. I think I'm too slow. I've been exploring too much. Whatever. At least we got the boss rush. It's the big one. But yeah, it was just, shit. Clusterfuck. I think I might have kind of a small glimpse of, like a small taste of what could have been kind of a COVID scenario with that brief freeze, because we kind of stayed at home, and then, like, at least with one class, they recorded a video for like a history lesson or something like that, or whatever the deal was. So it was just kind of like a tasty taste. Okay, I think we could just do something here. We'll get rid of small rock, whatever, I guess. But that will speed it up, though. And then we can roll it. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a taste to things, right? It had these hints towards it, but it was a freezing storm in this case. So it wasn't just the cold, it was also I had snow and stuff on top of it, too. Blizzard conditions. So, high winds and shit. Sausage! I'll take the sausage. Well, you know, whatever. Still pretty good. Poof! Poof! I don't want that though, so much. I guess you're euthanasia? That's not too bad. Yeah, but you could have got 1/3 guppy. You would have got the pussy. I should go back and play this room so I can get extra points, I guess, for completion. Yeah, so like that's just how it was with that teacher and the circumstances. I've never had a teacher like that doesn't give A's, that has that philosophy and this two-faced philosophy thing. It's crazy. My case, I didn't have like the easy course when that storm was going on. This was like the upper level hard course, so that was just kind of added things too, with like missing out that one class. So yeah, same teacher, by the way. Same teacher teaches the series of classes too, so that's great. There's no choice with that either. So, not many choices, eh? I'm gonna see about that super secret room. I think I know where this could be. Maybe. One can dream. Okay. It might be over here. Uh-huh. Oh, go to town, Dark Bum. You're the key into all this madness. Range down, huh? After what I did for you? I don't know how things would have been different for me. Like, I don't know how much things would have been different for me if I was still in school with this COVID stuff was going on. I mean, I have to follow the school's policies with all the distancing, masks, and all that, of course, you know. But it's like, ooh, we got tears up there, Sonny. Otherwise, you'll face expulsion for some damn reason with it. It got crazy. It even got to the point where they were doing a program to have other students search out other students if they're violating COVID-related distancing issues outside of campus when they're at their, like, rental properties or something that has nothing to do with school. Having others seek them out and then they get punishments for that. Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy times. And then we're supposed to forget it all. As if it didn't happen. Some kind of a form of gaslighting. I'll tell you another crazy story. I took I took some classes, like, for getting an associate's degree, right? And basically, like, you know, basic stuff that you didn't have a chance to really complete. I mean, some people have to get, like, certain classes in order to get their basics stuff. Let's see here. Or we could have got 2/3 guppy, huh? You know, whatever. That's what I said. Whatever. And so I had a teacher who was marriage and family, right? So it's humanities. And, well, the irony with it all was he was a marriage and family teacher, and he talked a lot about his wife, and not in a good way. He talked about being divorced too, and I'm like, is this the secret to healthy marriage? Is get advice from a divorced spouse? And he talked about being ex-military too. And he kept bragging about he can make people disappear if he wants to. And he said he'd done it once and didn't really talk much about it after that. I'm like, okay, that's metal. Did you make your wife disappear? Is that the clue we're supposed to be following? Following your little breadcrumbs throughout the classes? I don't even know what happened to the guy. Maybe he's still teaching out there, maybe. I don't know. I also had, like, a history teacher that keep roasting his wife, too. Well, ex-wife, too. It's like another thing going on, too, with that. So he'll, like, bring up something like a history thing, and like a certain history thing, and it's like, and then he makes a comment like, yeah, like my wife, or something like that, or just kind of like try to spin something with their wife about it. I'm like, okay, cool, I guess. I mean, they were nice teachers, though. At least they grade, like, pretty well, unlike the one teacher I had, the first one I was talking about. Doesn't believe in perfectionism, doesn't give A's, but wanted all these projects to be perfect and everything. It's crazy. Docked me points because I cut my finger open Got blood in the project. Like, it wasn't a bunch of blood either. Like, I was trying to clean it up. It was not that noticeable. And she just docked it. A little bit of the glue residue. Like, whatever. Like, I haven't done that shit since high school. Like, I really haven't done, like, projects like that since high school. And that was sparse. That was like... That wasn't like a regular thing either in high school. That was just speech class. Maybe once, maybe twice I've done that. That was it. Like, there was no other shit with that. Other classes I've had didn't have to put up with that shit after that. Like, holy fuck. But no, we gotta do it like what I did in the 90s in high school, she said, pretty much. Well, like a synopsis of that, I guess, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and what useful skill is that to fuck around with things? Hey guys, I have an idea. Let's fuck around and be nostalgic. I'm gonna fuck around being nostalgic. Like, it's nothing like really useful exactly because, like, Guppy's tail again. I'll be fucking darned. Whatever. Did I choose to pick that like that on purpose? No, I just got lazy. So yeah. Maybe I should have asked higher up about that. My concerns about her not wanting to give A's and admitted to that. I probably doesn't do anything good if she's been working there for a while. You're like, you know, you need to like not be saying that and doing that. Okay. You need to at least like give some form of compassion to students if they're working hard to get like A's. Because like if someone's got like a B or something like that and they're falling kind of behind with the other classes, you know, that little tipping point could like, you know, do something with you, right? Like, I guess if you're doing like some kind of a program, getting A's or something, and that one's like a B for some fucking reason. Or she decides to give you a C because you didn't clean your pasteboard well enough or some shit. That could just knock you out of the program or scholarship or something. I mean, assuming. I mean, I never really been in an honors program or anything. I mean, like, you think I was just super smart or something? You think I got like 4.0s or 5.0s? Is there 5? I think there's a 5.0 category, isn't there? Something like that. If it's just straight A's with multiple, more than 4 classes kind of thing. Is that how that works? Well, I know of the honors program. Now, could I have been in honors? Yeah, if I worked my ass off and took things more seriously back then. I mean, at least I got over a 3.0 GPA by the time I graduated, so that's way past the requirement to get a degree there, so that's cool. You're curious what I got for that class? I got a, I gotta think back now. I think I got like a B. B-ish. Something like that. Probably a lower B. I think. Yeah. I missed that one day, but it was excused, of course, because of well, I didn't have any other absences, thankfully. Wouldn't that be something if you did? Oh Lord. I even did like extra credit stuff too. So there's a little bit of that. But it was like next to nothing what it gave you. But, you know, I guess if it just gives you an extra few percent or whatever the hell the deal was. Sure. So there was a couple of those opportunities and I took them. But aside from all that kind of crap that went on in the class, I mean, she was decent as a teacher. She knew her stuff with like programs and lessons and stuff like that. The problem is just, you know, this other stuff. And then also like her pace might be a little too quick for us. And if we're new with these programs and stuff, it gets trickier to follow along with it and replicate things. Oh, no R key, huh? Oh, no R key, huh? I could just redo this floor again? How freaking dare ye? I bet my score's gonna be just terrible today. Tonight. Whatever. Today, tonight, tomato, tomato. I still gotta eat like hamburger tonight, too. It's... And tomorrow I have to go and get some groceries. I need some more groceries for the ham. And I'm gonna get some like 7-Up so I can make some grenadine Shirley Temple stuff. That's because that's a little festive. That's kind of relevant festive. Cherries, you know. Fizzy drinks. So I have like a big ass thing of like grenadine stuff. And I've only touched it like a few times and I'm not even close to being done with it, so. Oh, Blue Baby Soul, huh? More like no. Well, there's a dice and Pussy Cat made a return. The big old Pussy. R key. Okay, well, you know. When you know, you know. If we get an R key or something, I guess that's an extra retry of this floor or something like that. Did not mean to pick that up. I think Parasitoid would be kind of funny, right? Or Explosive Tears. With a little chocolate milk. Chalky milk. Let's see, that's after the sandwich, right? Yeah. And whatever. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty powerful. You don't even have to charge it all the way either. Now this year, this winter, it's gonna be a dry winter. Well, it was actually raining today. It was warm and rainy. Now it's foggy too. It's crazy how the weather is anymore. It snowed once, right? It snowed once this winter. And it's like, and then it went away. That was like sometime last month, whatever. Like it melted. It wasn't even that much snow. Like, oh, this is like the end of everything. I'm gonna get that Polyphemus. Probably don't need it, but I'm gonna do it anyways because it's cool. Gives me more power anyway. I'm just getting lazy with my stuff here anyways here. Yeah, give me that speed up. I mean, social distance learning is going to be real interesting too. Like if I was in that kind of situation, using Zoom calls. Like I've used Zoom during the COVID stuff. Not like a lot, but I did. It's interesting, I guess. Like, I would imagine like the distant learning stuff would probably irritate the shit out of me, truly, because back then, like many like years ago, there were there was classes over the years where I could choose like take it online or take it in person. I always chose taking it in person because I've heard about like taking stuff online being actually typically more difficult at the time because you don't get the better teachers. You get the online teachers, which they're more difficult. And some other stuff to it. I forgot what the other stuff was about. But I've heard about like, you know, college about like, oh, don't take this teacher, take this teacher. And this and that. Almost nobody's going to know about like, you know, the online teachers are going to be worth it or not either. Because next to nobody used online classes back then. I mean, it's more and more prevalent, which by the time like I got my late years, of my final years of school, I essentially just never bothered looking for online classes. Like, nope, I am set in stone at just completing my education without any online classes. Thank you very much. I could probably do it, but I could probably do it now if I wanted to take a class. You're like, well, I don't have to worry about, you know, taking a bunch of them at once and doing whatever I please. I mean, this has been a great run. We've talked about all sorts of stuff. Injuries, teachers, education, weird mishaps. 1,588th place does not surprise me the slightest. It's my shenanigans. It's a fun run, though. Not much of a challenging run, because it was, yeah. That was a good run, nonetheless. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.